To the very end, they waged their war. Israel's missiles hitting Tehran until the final moments. Iran, despite 12 days of war, still firing and hitting Israel as the ceasefire began, breaching the sanctity of the Iron Dome. Killing 4 people whose lives were extinguished in the no man's land between war and peace. Israel fired the final salvo, infuriating the man who claimed the peace as his own.
Israel, as soon as we made the deal, they came out and they dropped a load of bombs, the likes of which I'd never seen before. The biggest load that we've seen. I'm not happy with Israel. You know, when I say, okay, now you have 12 hours, you don't go out in the first hour and just drop everything you have on them. So I'm not happy with them. I'm not happy with Iran either.
As he headed to the NATO summit, the president expressed an unusual level of public frustration with Israel.
You know what? We basically have 2 countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what they're doing. Do you understand that?
His frustration the ceasefire might fail was shared on social media. Israel, do not drop those bombs. If you do, it's a major violation. Bring your pilots home now, he wrote. That was followed up by Israel is not going to attack Iran. All planes will turn around and head home, while doing a friendly plane wave to Iran. The past 12 days has seen regional turmoil which threatened to spill into one of the president's much vaunted forever wars. Brought the United States directly into conflict with Iran. It remains unclear how damaged Iran's nuclear program really is, despite the weekend strikes. They are still trying to recover the dead from the 12 days of this war, aware, however bad it has been, it could have been so much worse. And without the ceasefire holding, it will be. Emma Murphy, News at 10, Iraq.
Iran's foreign minister boasted on social media that his armed forces continued their attacks on Israel right up until the last minutes before the ceasefire started. One of the final Iranian missiles did breach Israel's defensive shield and killed 4 Israelis in the southern town of Beersheba.
Each of Iran's parting shots involved a barrage of no more than 3 missiles. But 6 salvos of them meant Israelis had to await the ceasefire, cowering in shelters for far longer than at any other time during the war. And there ended up being another chink in Israel's armour. An apartment block in Beersheba took a direct hit. At least 4 people were killed, civilians for whom the war's dying minutes were exactly that. Tragic deaths right at the death.
How did the missile get through?
How did the missile get through? As you can see, there is no 100%. So we had, just like in previous scenes that you've seen, there's no 100% of sealing in the air defense.
During the countdown to a ceasefire, Israel is used to having the last word. Just ask Beirut or Gaza. Therefore, this was a bitter blow right at the end of what this country regards as a successful campaign.
And I commend all those who've been involved in this operation, meaning an operation that clearly has a direct impact on the well-being and safety of the world, the region, and the state of Israel.
Israel has enjoyed some stunning successes in this war, but it has not been pain-free. Roughly 1 in 10 of the Iranian missiles sent this way have got through the defensive shield. And the ballistic warheads are big enough to have made this, the latest war, Israel's most destructive ever. President Trump has complained that the airstrikes on Iran carried out by the Israelis as the ceasefire approached were the biggest we have seen. This morning, the truce got off to a shaky start, but tonight it seems that a 12-day war characterized by missiles, drones and bunker busters may actually have been ended by an F-bomb dropped in Washington.
And John joins us from Tel Aviv tonight. John, there doesn't seem any certainty at this point of exactly how much damage has or hasn't been done to Iran's nuclear program. So I guess that leaves us with one big question. Will this ceasefire hold? Can it hold?
Tom, I mean, obviously that is the big question tonight. And I think, Donald Trump, have we ever seen him so furious? His foul-mouthed warning shots, however, have had the desired effect. And tonight the ceasefire, which looked fragile this morning, is holding. But it's a truce without a plan, and that makes it fragile. There's been no mention of the pursuit of an agreement and effective, trustworthy oversight. And without those things, Tom, I fear we could find ourselves back at square one in pretty short order. Now, there's a debate going on here about how effective the bombardment really has been. To what extent has this program been set back? And did the Israelis really want to call a halt to it? Or did Donald Trump force them? Now, it's being reported that the retaliatory strikes that were called off involved bombing up to 15 regime sites, which suggests to me they wanted to keep their campaign going. Mr. Netanyahu, however, says they've achieved everything they wanted to. But then he would say that. In a statement tonight, the Israeli Prime Minister also said he now wants Israel to pursue what he called an axis of peace and prosperity among the nations of this region. Well, to make headway on that front, Tom, he'll need a ceasefire in Gaza as well. Mr. Netanyahu has boosted his popularity, there's no doubt, and he may now have sufficient political capital to face down the fanatics in his cabinet and make peace with Hamas. Will he do that? Might Donald Trump force him to do that? Yet more questions being asked here tonight, Tom.
It's fascinating stuff. John, thanks so much.